12 cheapest places to travel in 2023. Travel Guide. While traveling can benefit our minds and bodies, it can also present a financial obstacle. That's why I compiled a list of the cheapest places to travel to. Even the most ambitious travel plans can be thwarted by annoying taxes, high plane ticket prices, accommodation costs, and local travel expenses. I get it, you want to travel, but to cheap travel destinations. But you don't have to abandon your travel plans entirely, because they add up in cost. There are many cost-friendly options. Are you looking for the most beautiful places to travel to at the lowest prices? Do you dream of gazing at photos with stunning views and exotic foods, but don't want to break the bank? You're in the right spot. The journey is more important than the destination. You can visit many places on a limited budget. Although they might not be the most popular destinations, you'd be surprised by the countries I have on this list. Turkey is a solid example of that. It was rated the #1 most traveled country last year. It also ranks 3rd cheapest on my list. You will be amazed at the combination of affordable prices, great things to do, and beautiful destinations. My friends and family always ask this question, so I put a list together. I've included destinations from all walks of life to complete the list. You and your wallet will be able to relax and have fun. As you travel to these cheap destinations, having a budget for your trip will only allow you to save more. Now let's take a look at these beautiful countries. Make sure when you're visiting any of these beautiful countries, you purchase travel insurance before going. Travel insurance is one of those things that is overlooked at times. But if something happens, you'll regret not getting it. I recommend Safety Wing. They have coverage for all countries, listed below. Destinations #1. Vietnam. Each traveler has certain expectations of Vietnam before they visit it. And Vietnam can be very different from their home country. Vietnam has beautiful beaches and stunning mountain ranges. It also enjoys a mild climate. While you can find all these aspects elsewhere in the world, the best part about a trip to Vietnam is the local experience. Sticking to a budget in Vietnam will keep you at around $20 USD a day. This makes Vietnam the cheapest place to vacation. Make sure you visit the Golden Bridge, photographed above. Then there's the cuisine. Vietnamese food is loved worldwide. If you've tried it, you'd understand why. With so many rich and complex flavors, it's hard not to crave. You can pull out a stool on the street and enjoy some pho from a street food vendor alongside the locals. Moments like these are what make me miss Vietnam the most. Despite the horrible past of the American War, Vietnam has changed significantly over the years. But one thing that hasn't changed is how friendly and welcoming the people are. That said, quite a few scams occur in busy tourist areas, so beware. Taxi scams, money exchange vendors, and pickpocketing are common. Top cities to consider: Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon, Da Nang. Cheapest places to travel to in Vietnam: Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh City. Destinations #2. Thailand. It seems like everyone has a friend who's been to Thailand, and they haven't stopped talking about it since they returned. Thailand is a popular destination for backpackers because of its idyllic islands, rich culture, and tasty cuisine. Thailand also has some of the world's most beautiful beaches and islands. One example is the famous Maya Bay. This beach has been the backdrop in many movies. There's a large selection of cities offering cheap living standards in Thailand, each with unique attributes. Chiang Mai is the cheapest place to travel to in the country. It's located in the north. It's a quiet city with no high-rise buildings and lots of countryside. But it still offers modern amenities throughout the city. The average cost per day in Thailand is $28 USD. At such a low cost, there's a reason Thailand is a top choice for budget travelers. This makes Thailand one of the cheapest places to travel to. Top cities to consider: Phuket, Bangkok, Koh Samui, Railay Beach, Chiang Mai. Cheapest places to travel to in Thailand: Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai. Destinations #2. Turkey. Having recently gone through an economic crisis, the local Turkish currency, the lira, has seen quite a decline in the last few years. Turkey has been a cheap place to visit for years, but with the economic crisis it's become even more affordable. This makes Turkey one of the cheap places for vacation. A budget of just $45 USD a day will cover everything you need here. Ranked number 1 most traveled country in 2021, Turkey has several beautiful cities to discover. The hustle and bustle of Istanbul is home to the Grand Bazaar. You can shop there for days with local vendors offering just about anything and everything. Try the various doner, shawarma, and local Turkish eats while visiting. When you've exhausted yourself from Istanbul, head to Bodrum to relax. Bodrum is a seaside city that shares the Aegean Sea with Greece. It's very picturesque and has attributes quite similar to Positano in Italy, but at a fraction of the price. Last but not least, head over to the Cappadocia region and take a hot air balloon ride. Have you seen the photos of a rocky region with several hot air balloons online? That's in Cappadocia. Top cities to consider: Istanbul, Antalya, Bodrum. Cheapest places to travel to in Turkey: Istanbul, Antalya, Izmir. Destinations number 4. Peru. Peru is one of the most popular places to visit in South America because of Machu Picchu. Peru not only has some of the oldest archaeological sites in the world, but nature as well. It's home to some of the world's most pristine jungles, mountains and waterfalls. If you enjoy hiking, this is the place you need to visit without a doubt. The Rainbow Mountains are a must-visit. Peru ranks as the cheapest destination to travel to for transportation. Accommodations, conversely, don't seem to be as cheap as the transportation there. But there are still great value accommodations up for grabs in Peru. The locals in Peru are pretty friendly and welcome, but I will advise you to be careful from taxi scams, pickpocketing, and strolling down less crowded streets. Top cities to consider: Lima, Cusco, Trujillo. Cheapest places to travel to in Peru: Cusco, Lima, Chachapoyas. Destinations number 5. Mexico. Regarding the cheapest destination vacations, Mexico is number 1 for me. Mexico has some of the best food in the world, so many different cities to discover, and all around warm weather throughout the year. What's not to love? Travelers come from all over the world to Mexico each year. Tulum ranks top 3 annually to visit during the winter, especially amongst those under 35 who want to party. Tulum is also very famous for its cenotes. Traveling around Mexico is convenient and cheap. ADU buses will cost you around 6 to 10 USD, and ferries 15 to 30 USD. Depending on location, taxis you can always negotiate. Mexico can be as cheap as you want it to be. You need to know where to go. There are expensive restaurants everywhere in the major tourist cities, but if you eat where the locals are, it's much cheaper. Regarding accommodations, hotels are pretty priced, around 100 to 200 USD a night. Hostels everywhere in each big city will cost you around $20 minus 70 USD a night. This makes Mexico one of the cheapest places to travel to. Top cities to consider: Tulum, Mexico City, Cancun, Playa del Carmen, Isla Cozumel, Puerto Vallarta. Cheapest places to travel to in Mexico: Sayulita, Sisal, Querétaro, Huatulco. Destinations number 6. Philippines. The Philippines used to rank top 3 for cheapest places to travel to. But over the years, it's become a more popular destination. Food prices for dining out in the Philippines have increased in the last 3 years. That said, cooking your food in the Philippines will save you a lot of money. That's because produce is cheap here. I've always been fascinated by the Philippines because the whole country is scattered with so many islands. My favorite is El Nido, Palawan, home to the famous El Nido beach. Ferry rides tend to be around 4 to 7 USD per ride. The countless amount of beautiful beaches on each island are overwhelming. The Philippines ranks top 5 in the world regarding most alluring beaches. Besides the beaches, my favorite thing about visiting the Philippines is the people. Filipino people are the nicest nationality I've been around when traveling. I genuinely felt like I was home, when visiting because of how welcoming the strangers were. Dorm hostels are everywhere here. Take advantage of this. They'll cost you around $5 USD per night. Costs can rise, but you can budget here if you want. This is why the Philippines makes my list of the cheapest places to travel. Top cities to consider: Manila, Davao City, Cebu City. Cheapest places to travel to in the Philippines: Davao City, Cebu City, Palawan. Destinations number 7. Argentina. Like Turkey, Argentina has had a currency crisis over the last few years. Being affordable as it was with the financial crisis, it's become even more affordable to visit this culture-rich country. If you budget here, you can expect to spend as little as $25 minus 37 USD a day. But if you're not looking to be on a tight budget, expect to pay anywhere from $70 minus $120 USD a day. This includes accommodations, food, and local transportation. Similar to Peru on our list, Argentina is well known for its great outdoors. The country's dynamic landscapes offer opportunities for skiing, ice climbing, rock climbing, and much more. But for me, the best part of Argentina is the food. Argentinian people are very passionate about their food, and it shows. Locals are big meat eaters. The national dish is asado, a large-scale BBQ with several cuts of meat over an open fire. Top cities to consider: Buenos Aires, Rosario, Cordoba. Cheapest places to travel to in Argentina: Cordoba, Mendoza, Buenos Aires. Destinations number 8. Cuba. Cuba is relatively affordable, especially when compared to other Caribbean islands. However, it is more expensive than in other areas of Latin America, such as Mexico and Central America. Tourists will be charged tourist prices due to the particular currency that is available. On a tight budget, Cuba will cost you around $35 USD a day. Cuba has powdery beaches, great food, and vibrant colored buildings in Havana. Cuba also ranks as one of the safest countries for tourists to visit. Just don't criticize Fidel Castro when visiting. There are always deals to visit Cuba all year round regarding all-inclusive accommodations. Take advantage of these when looking to book your trip. Top cities to consider: Havana, Santa Clara, Santiago de Cuba. Cheapest places to travel to in Cuba: Havana, Holguin, Matanzas. Destinations number 9. Egypt. Besides being where the pyramids were built, Egypt doesn't seem to come to mind when thinking of a charming, affordable destination to visit. It's not the cheapest place to travel to on our list, but it's still cheap. If you budget when visiting, $50 USD a day will cover all your expenses. Not too bad at all, right? The capital of Cairo is full of things to do. Visit the famous Nile River and the Museum of Egyptian Antiquities, or stroll the city center streets of Cairo day or night. Alexandria is a big city along the Mediterranean Sea with so much to do and stunning beaches. It's my favorite city in Egypt. One thing to keep in mind when visiting Egypt is scams. Taxi and vendor scams are way too common here. Also be careful if you take a trip to the pyramids. Countless scams target tourists there, from camel rides to be able to take a photo of something, and tour scams. If you're a solo foreign woman traveler, I'd recommend you visit Egypt with a man for safety reasons. Top cities to consider: Cairo, Alexandria, Sharm el-Sheikh. Cheapest places to travel to in Egypt: Lua, Doha, Cairo. Destinations number 10. Colombia. Colombia is a popular and affordable destination. If you're not staying in major hotels, accommodation is usually quite reasonable. Many markets sell cheap food, and buses are very affordable. Stay away from the chic neighborhoods in Medellin and Old Town Cartagena unless you're looking to spend more on just about everything. On the other hand, if you stick to a budget, you can expect to spend $70 minus $100 USD a day. This makes Colombia one of the cheapest places to travel to in the world for 2023. Lately, I've been reading about Colombia quite a bit. The big cities of Medellin and Bogota have been popping up on my feeds much more lately. It makes sense because the country is slowly establishing itself as an up-and-coming major tourist destination. Colombia should be on your bucket list. It's full of rainforests, unique ecosystems, and metropolitan cities. Top cities to consider: Cartagena, Medellin, Bogotá. Cheapest places to travel to in Colombia: Bucaramanga, Barranquilla, Minca. Destinations number 11. Portugal. It surprises me how many people forget to mention Portugal when they think of European destinations to visit. Not only is it the most affordable big country to visit in Europe, but it's also a country full of fantastic food, great wine and stunning nature. It's cheaper to visit during autumn, but if you want to visit Portugal in its glory, you must go in the summer. The average daily cost in Portugal is between $100 minus $125 USD a day. Portugal has always been one of Europe's cheapest places to travel. Of course, visiting the capital, Lisbon, will cost you more. I strongly recommend going to Lagos, Portugal in the summer. Not only is it the cheapest in my list of cities to consider, but it's also home to the most stunning beaches in Portugal. With saying that, I still recommend you go to the capital. The city is full of culture, diverse cuisines, and travelers from all over the world. Top cities to consider: Lisbon, Porto, Lagos. Cheapest places to travel to in Portugal: Braga, Faro, Lagos. Destinations number 12. Croatia. Croatia is one of the cheapest countries to visit in Europe, sharing the Adriatic Sea with Italy. It's far less affordable than Italy. With the local currency being the kuna instead of the euro, you will pay a fraction for things versus other European destinations. If you're looking to visit on a budget, it will cost you about $80 minus $140 USD per day. Croatia's beaches are known worldwide for their powdery white sand, clear turquoise waters, and cliffside hills. Make sure to visit the many national parks in Croatia, full of rich nature views. I personally really enjoyed the architecture of Old Town Dubrovnik. Even though it may not be cheap, Yacht Week in Dubrovnik is definitely on the bucket list. Suppose you're after a European summer destination with charm, lovely beaches, and a romantic setting, but don't want to strain your wallet. Despite being the last ranking country on my list of cheapest places to travel to, I still highly recommend you visit Croatia. Top cities to consider: Rijeka, Pula, Dubrovnik. Cheapest places to travel to in Croatia: Osijek, Rijeka, Zagreb.